champion. Excellent. You have my thanks, child. Now, we can use the power of the Fellfire Bloom to begin the removal of this curse from our lands. We will, however, require your services once more to accomplish this. Will you aid us again? Seek an audience with the keepers of the crossing, and then administer the sample of Fellfire Bloom to the heart of this land. With luck, you will free this entire region from the Naka affliction. You must invoke the Keeper's Right in order to reach the crossing. The first step is to challenge Pura at the Crown of the Sun to battle. You need proof that you have bested her to pass through Caer Alatha. The Summer Fae who live here are tied to the land, and the land in turn is tied to the crossing. The restorative properties of the Fellfire Bloom will remove the Naka's affliction from the font of the crossing. Very well. Defeat Pura, and she will give you the Amulet of the Sun. Take the amulet to the keepers at Caer Alatha, and they will allow you to pass. At the bottom of Caer Alatha, you'll find the font of the crossing. Place the sample of Fellfire Bloom atop it. Go to the Crown of the Sun, where Pura trains replacement keepers, and challenge her to battle. Only if you defeat her will she grant you the Amulet of the Sun, which you will require to enter the crossing. Then, delve into the depths of Caer Alatha and find the crossing. Place the sample of Fellfire Bloom atop the altar at its center. If our theory is correct, your help in this matter will find...
The Great Ones contested Engard's knowledge, and time and again they failed. The combat space was a patch of dirt, which soon became a clearing. The clearing, trampled by the feet of warriors, sunk into the earth and became an arena where the bravest mortals heard the feral clamors of the combatants. The House of Valor was born.
foulness unknown to Tyrion's tired pilgrims lumbered in the plains. Laboured grunts trumpeted the call of brutish Jotun, the giant-kin of old, the hammer-wielders. In grievous march they trampled wood and tumbled stone. The fleshy weight of steppes crushed the bones of warriors past. Kelleran's legion spread too thin. Beala's prayers went unanswered, and the fear of death came too easily with the heavy step of the hill dwellers.
The withering war swept across the land. Seelie and Unseelie fought each other. The House of Valor was abandoned for the battlefields of Isar and Old. Engard battled hordes. The warriors of Valor thrived on the plains of Erethan. The storm grew as they joined the war, and the Seelie threw back the invaders. When the armies of Own subsided, the Seelie returned to the land, and the House of Valor was forever changed. The conflict of the cycle waned, and the Fae now embodied the peace of sleep. Engard no longer fought, and was without purpose. The great cycle turned through the ages. Seasons passed. A mortal defeated the champion of Valor. His name was Hroth Magnus.
A child of dust! What brings you to the crown of the sun? The desert is unkind to mortals. Florian and the Circle sent you to access the crossing? It is highly unusual for a mortal to invoke a Fey rite, but your aura is most unlike a mortal's. Very well. Prepare yourself. Well done. You are a skilled combatant. It's no wonder you've earned the respect of Florian and his circle. The Amulet of the Sun is yours, and with it your right to ascend to the crossing. You will find the crossing in the deepest depths of Keralatha. The Amulet of the Sun allows you to access the tunnels that will take you there. Alcerand is the last bastion of the Fae in Detir, one of the few places in these desert lands where we are plentiful. I do not wish to speak to you about Fae affairs, mortal. This place is older than your mind can grasp, and it will remain long after you are gone. They are Summer Fae, but their minds have been altered. They attack any who travel the sands, be they mortal or Fae. I am the guardian of the Crown of the Sun. It is my role to watch this sacred place and see to the safety of the keepers in training. Florian told you of it. They must trust you implicitly. It is one of many sources of our worldly power. It is an almost limitless source of magical energy, closely tied to the essence of Alcerand. They spent hundreds of years here in preparation of their duties. I am tasked with meeting their needs, ensuring they are ready. It will be several hundred years before the replacements for the current keepers arrive.
Welcome to Keralatha, mortal. We have not had visitors in a very long time. What do you seek? It is no accident that Keralatha is a place of great spiritual confluence. The crossing's flow of energy has influenced the landscape, shaped it as the ancients once did. Halcyon is my companion, and a revelation. I never in my life spoke to a summer fae, yet now I see that winter and summer are not so different. Yes, I am winter fae and Halcyon is summer fae. That is the nature of the crossing. A representative from both courts remains here for balance. I always distrusted the summer fae, but it is difficult to distrust your only companion. Over the centuries, Halcyon and I have grown to rely on one another. The Keepers live to prevent use of the crossing by either Fae Empire. Its power is such that both Summer and Winter Fae have agreed to leave its power unharnessed. Always dear Pura has stood vigil at the Circle of the Sun, awaiting the new Keepers to give them direction. It was she who led Halcyon and myself to the crossing when we first arrived in Amalur. It is a nexus of energies, a place where magic flows infinitely. There are few such places on Amalur, and the Keepers are tasked with protecting them. I am quite skilled at sage crafting. It is one of my roles. I will aid you if you require it. To deal with the Narca curse. If Pura has given you the means to pass, then do so. You should seek out Halcyon. He will assist you in this. We Keepers routinely delve into the depths of Keralatha to make minute adjustments to the crossing, ensuring its power remains under control. Find the crossing, and Halcyon will undoubtedly be nearby. It is where the replacement Keepers go to prepare for their work at the crossing. When it is time for them to assume their posts, they enter into combat with Pura, as you did. If they survive, she brings them here, as she did with us. She is the guardian of the Crown of the Sun, and a powerful sorceress. But you have defeated her. It is no wonder Florian and the others of the House of Valor have come to place their trust in you. Take caution in these lands, mortal.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking? Always looking.
You should feel privileged. The crossing is not a place of mortal business. You are the first to come this far. That essence of the Fellfire bloom is meant for the crossing, yes? To cure this region of the Narca curse. I will not allow it. Florian, in all his wisdom, does not see what I see. That the crossing is a solution to this long winter. No Fey empire has ever risen so. It is not the way of things. I have been using the power of the crossing to gradually tip the balance of magic in favor of the Summer Fey in Ulcerund, but this had unfortunate side effects. The crossing is tied to the magical essence of this land, and so are the Fey of this region. My tampering has driven them to madness. It is a necessary corruption. Better for a few of us to be mad than to wait for this long winter to end. Perish. I cannot allow you to interfere further. The Circle of Engard must endure my curse for as long as it takes to end this long winter. Fare you well.
I see. Alcir's devotion to his king and court was more powerful than our friendship. That he would compromise his own kind to end the long winter is deeply unsettling. Perhaps, in the end, he'd become Narca himself. You have my thanks. Please, take these. They are imbued with Fey magic, and should aid you wherever you may go. I serve the Unseelie court. I was chosen to guard the crossing as the winter representative, to watch over its power during the long winter. The crossing has changed. I can feel it. But whether it undid the damage Halcyon inflicted remains to be seen. Return to Florian and report what transpired. Take caution in these lands, mortal. Your kind is particularly...
It is good. I can feel a change in the air. The taint of the Narca curse is rapidly dissipating. A shame it was caused by one of the Seelie's own. The Circle and I will take our leave. A small number of Narca will undoubtedly remain. We will reclaim our brethren and defeat what Narca are left. Thanks to you, perhaps Ulcerund will recover from the Narca after all.
Exercise caution in Ulcerund. It is good to see you all. Take care in Ulcerund.
We are the Circle of Engard.
Ah, and the footfalls of another wayfarer grace our ears. I'm delighted. I don't suppose you're traveling through Galette, are you? If so, I would not look too hard for anyone. There is not much left to find. Yes, we are pilgrims of a sort. Missionaries might be a more appropriate label. We serve our God and follow his will. It was quite a miracle. A number of my order, all drawn by common faith, came to the village, and we showed them salvation. There was fire and blood and screaming, yes, much screaming, but all for the glory of the great Balin. Praise be to him. There is no need to struggle. You will find peace and eternal rest in but a few moments. And in exchange, Balin will let us rouse his slumbering servant, so that he may sow chaos and death throughout these realms. Generous Balin, praise be to you.
You're the one Colm found slaying the Testament? I'm impressed. Well, I'm not here for the Testament. I'm here for gold. And I've got work for two. Care to make some riches? I'd been through here a few years back, on my Warsworn training. It was as nice a place as you'd like to find in Detir, but there was always something sinister about those ruins in the canyon's end. I suppose we know why now. I served as a hireling in the Warsworn once, but as my friends made rank, I was passed over too many times. And so I left. I live by my own oaths now. I was a Warsworn hireling once. Was passed over for promotion one too many times. On my last job, I found a map to a treasure beneath Galette. A friend, Tears, and I gathered a crew to claim it. We found the town in ruins, but were undeterred. We would get what we came for. Then Tears slipped something into my drink, and the crew left without me. Now I want to beat them to the treasure, and I could use your support. They wanted to cut me out. That's the only reason I can think of. I'll show those bastards. Why, you... Fine. Even a tenth of this treasure will be enough to make us rich. Now, can we go? Good. We split the map among the crew, but I know the treasure lies in Galette Caverns. Now, let's move. There were 4 in the crew, including myself. My good friend Tears had the idea. He found the map as well. The other 2 were a pair of mercenaries, an Almain named Alsers and a Varane named Bertzer. They seemed trustworthy enough. It's in a cave near the ruins of the town, the Galette Tunnels. I'll meet you inside.
So, you made it to our camp. After seeing how you handled yourself against the Testament, I was hoping you might. Those of us in camp trust each other, but aid is not as forthcoming. I will be blunt. The Testament has taken something from me, and I want to recover it, intact. But I cannot do it alone. My brother Giran, they did not take him per se, so much as seduce him. He was a promising adept of the Scholia Arcana, and then one day he vanished. When I heard of the Testament's involvement, I feared the worst. I managed to track him here to Galette. Then I discovered just how large the presence of the Testament was in these marches. He would not have. Giran, he was always alone, always with his studies. He was wise, so very wise. There is no chance that he joined the cult willingly. They must have coerced him. Then again, his last letters to me were... No, nothing. Never mind. Excellent. I have resources at my disposal for a reward if we are successful. I have reason to believe that he is hiding in the ruins that run beneath the marches, this tomb of Ferragnus. I will meet you there. Hopefully, this cult has not sunk its claws too deeply into Giran's mind. It is a large and ancient Irathi ruin, somehow connected to the complex at the end of the canyon. Legends say it winds and twists beneath the marches like a labyrinth. Many who entered never returned. The marches are a main avenue from Erethel into Detir, but many choose not to walk the road in these dark times. He is my twin brother. We spent our childhood together. Because of his command of magic, he was selected to join the Scholia Arcana. After that, he surrounded himself in studies. He changed. All this talk of magic and control. I was born in Rathir and trained in the arts of magic at a young age. But when my brother Giran demonstrated greater ability than I, it was he who became my parents' focus. I was left to learn on my own. The mercenary, He has seen combat, I am certain, but for his kind, justice is always for sale. There is a bedroll over there if you need to rest up. It's not the best, but it's what I can offer you here. The tomb of Feragnos is an underground ruin beneath the canyon. It might lead us to him. I fear the Testament's presence will be strong in there. They seem drawn to the tomb.
The demons defile the land. The burnt skin of the world glows red with suffering. It is the deep gloam, and a pallor of death settles on the people of Amalur. Fires rage across the wastes. The only sound is whispered laughter. As the embers cool and a wind blows across the desert, life once more erupts from the husk of the earth, and the struggle begins.
Now the boggarts are driven back. Dare I say it? There's a... On with you. Get...
formed. As beams of light amidst darkness, we saw it. The eternal clash between the structures of order and shadows of chaos. Slowly, despite their struggles, the war gave way to the grass and the sway of trees in the breeze. The land was cursed by the plague, brought on by the Niskaru, but life gives way to death, as death will birth new life. There was one. It would stare from the darkness and smile. It waited there with minions by its side. It was a demon thing, basking in eternal chaos, roaring beside the cries of its victims. The ones who came before faced and vanquished it. They saved the children of dust from a writhing torment.
We're here. Something is wrong. Let's clear out these kobolds first. The Alpha, he seems wormy. Decent enough, though. And can't deny that magic's useful to have in a fight against these bastards. A dark place, that. I heard about it during my time in the Warsworn. It's meant to keep that thing in. Would avoid it if I could. It's in these tunnels, but something happened here. It looks like we've got to deal with these kobolds before anything else. Are taken care of, but something strange. All these bodies. I don't think the kobolds killed these people. Tyrs was former Warsworn like me. A rabble of beasts would be no trouble for him. And these other bodies look like they've seen action. They must be of the Testament, which means they encountered Tyrs, and they fought it out. We better see if Tyrs made it out alive. I don't know for sure. It's locked tight. We'll have to find the bodies of Alces and Bertza to unlock it. We'd better start looking. If you see a body that looks like one of my crew, give me a shout and I'll come over. I don't know. We'll just have to search them. If you see a body that you think might have belonged to my group, point it out and I'll try to identify it. Can't believe they're actually dead. It looks like they made a stand against the Testament. Bertza. She was just a mercenary looking for easy gold. Didn't know the job would end like this. But here's our combination anyway. I don't know them. Probably one of those damn Testament fools. It's Alsa's. I didn't know him well, but he didn't deserve to die like this. Looks like he has his part of the combination still. It's Tears. We're already too late. I don't know. Tears never ran from a fight in his life. It's almost like he locked himself in here on purpose. Why? If he knew he was dead, why go through the trouble of hiding in here? Unless to keep the Testament from getting the treasure. Wait, did you hear that? The Testament's come. Then it's settled. My crew got the door open, the Testament came in, tried to take the ring, and ushered everyone into paradise. Damn fools. We only came here for the money. It's all we wanted. Yet Tears kept the ring from them. He thought it was more important than his life. Why? The Testament's done enough. I'll make sure they never repeat what they did here. Take the ring. I no longer want it. I'll see you at camp. Always open for business when the road is your market. Place? Are you looking to buy? Always looking to. Make a bit of coin.
Yes? What do you need? Have you found Geran? He must be in here somewhere. The testament is drawn to this place.
So you're the one my brother dragged here? Why? Did he tell you to save me from the Testament's influence? You are both fools. I joined of my own volition. Do you need proof? Look to the bodies at your feet. You gaze upon my work. Because they offered me what no one else could. A chance to grow. To do what has never been done. I always wanted control, and the Testament will supply me with all the subjects I require. No one is better than the Testament. Being a servant of Balin has made me more powerful than ever.
I did not think Giran's resolve could fall so fast. You heard what he said. Ferragnus, waking? There is more to the Testament's presence here. In Giran's name, we must find what they want. It is good to see someone in the marches who has not fallen to Balin worship. Many tidings to you.
Do you not see? Do you not see? The hells have come for you and I. Do not sleep. Do not run. Bury yourself. Dig into the earth. Cover yourself with dirt. Cover yourself. Dig beneath the worms, beneath the sand, or the fires consume you. They call the demon back to wreak the havoc of ancient doom. It comes! Dig! Agnos, come to us! As I free my blood, we free you from your prison. Taste of this and drink, and tear apart your chains. We call you over, Agnos. We summon you. We invoke your presence. We break the prison bones. We break the walls.
Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fey have holed up at the canyon hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there, but it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the fey. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine, and then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Our scholar, Answer, ought to be at the canyon hillside, getting to the bottom of this damn holdup. He ought to be back already, telling me how he fixed it. If you do see him, give him a kick for me and tell him to get on with it. I've got miners just standing around not mining. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit, and my care and charge. They were our biggest competition, and they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar had never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. They're cowards, the whole lot of them. They came scurrying back, complaining about the passage to Canyon Hill site, blocked by Fae. Now they won't go near the eastern ledge and me without a single Praetorian to deal with them. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. Good day.
Before I came here, I'd never seen such a fey-ridden place.
Greetings.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Croddock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a Chief of Security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Croddock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. No one knows what's at the top of Cloud Crest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir. Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus mining and, such as it is, Aaron Excavations digging here. Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dunehead operation's hardly begun thanks to a vicious Croddock. I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me. We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. We're the closest thing to an inn for leagues around us. Are you enjoying your stay? Those beds aren't luxurious, but they're better than sleeping on the ground. I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Name's Alex. Alex Anatole. Let me know if you've got any equipment that needs repairing. I'll get it back to you as good as new. They're Motus Mining's only competition out here. They set up shop first, actually, but they're just about finished. When Motus moved in, they lured the Erin workers with promise of higher wages. Erin excavations never recovered. I hear the foreman, Edgar Erin, is pretty bitter about it. He still hasn't left, though. Probably holding on to the hope he can get his business running again. It's a dangerous region, for sure. There are beasts out there just waiting to tear a gnome apart. The mining operations here have run into a real wall when it comes to the local wildlife. Take heed and learn from their hardship. Make sure you're well equipped, and don't hesitate to ask for repairs. Take care in the sands. They run fine to the unwitting.
Desert is as unforgiving.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. Catstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back. I've lived in the Hollowlands for a time, seen lights and heard rumbles from the top that could have been the world's quietest storm, or very powerful magic. Mark my words, there's something happening up there. I've spent a lot of time here in the Hollowlands, living off the soil and the wildlife. I thought I'd finally made a living for myself when I discovered the mineral deposits here. Not sure what I'll do now that Motus has stolen my workers, but I'll think of something. Motus will get theirs someday. They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money. I had a small army of gnomes to help me with the mine. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards had the gall to leave me for Motus.
is it? You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your people's strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Formerus Hughes, the gnome who brought you back to life. I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hughes produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled, at any cost. It would seem the incident in Alistar made Scholar Hughes a touch, paranoid. Every time we receive a clue about his location, he vanishes before I can reach him. But he's running out of places to hide. It's my opinion that there's one hope left of finding Hughes. You. And I'm grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. He may have returned to his old laboratory in Saltwell Mines, but if any of my people approach, he'll flee. He's quite paranoid, for good reason. Edessa is the greatest bastion of knowledge and understanding in the world. Alfar have their arts, mankind has its gods, but our only commandments are the solid, predictable laws of natural science. His knowledge is invaluable, and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about your safety too, of course. That goes without saying. As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Formerus Hughes is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance. My fellow Templars and I sponsor research that will lead to the betterment of all mortals. Sadly, Alfar and man alike often have trouble accepting the reason behind our decisions. But most gnomes realize we have their best interests in mind.
Don't try anything around the town.
What is it?